Do you think what happened to Jimmy Kimmel is a free speech issue?
Yes, I do.
Tell me why.
Should we tell them what? I think
No, it's okay. Explain the story.
We talked about it off camera as well.
We did. Set out the story for us, Ed.
Jimmy Kimmel, the Jimmy Kimmel show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, like a late night talk show hosted by Jimmy Kimmel in America, has been cancelled after Jimmy Kimmel...
Taken off air indefinitely, or are you saying cancelled as in like cancel culture?
Taken off here indefinitely.
Yeah.
In the traditional TV sense.
Yeah.
After Jimmy Kimmel in a monologue made quite like a weak, mild joke about Trump's response to a reporter asking him how he was feeling about Charlie Kirk, and Trump goes, "Good, look at all those trucks, they're building the new ballroom."
Should we play it? We could play the clip.
Yeah, play the clip.
Can we?
Play the clip.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
ABC have taken the Jimmy Kimmel show off the air indefinitely after pressure being put on ABC by Trump and the Trump administration. That is the story. I think that you suggested off camera that is this just a business decision. Late night talk shows are not as popular as they once were. They're now sort of like clip farms for social media posting, like whatever Jimmy Fallon did last night now ends up on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I think that is true. That is absolutely true. But the federal government,
FCC, Federal Communications, something or other.
Yeah.
Committee? I'll give it a committee.
The fancy club for...
The FCC, but it's not the one to do with money.
No. The federal government putting pressure on a private company to cancel a show after a comedian says something that they don't like is surely suppression of free speech. You're literally removing that person's ability to speak on that via that medium. Jimmy Kimmel now could do the smart thing and start a podcast.
Yeah, so that was kind of where I was at before we started recording, which was essentially Letterman's on Netflix, Colbert's gone, Conan's got a podcast, and if you look at the sort of the trends of all these great, I mean, I've never really understood the format, to be quite honest with you. It's never really worked for me. A dear friend of mine, you probably guess who, used to religiously watch like Jon Stewart and thought it was fucking hilarious. And then I he comes back to great fanfare, and I'm watching the monologues, and I'm like, but there certainly seems to be this trend of them leaving their late night cable purchase and going into the digital world with, like, I would say, pretty significant degree. Letterman in particular, sort of doing hour-long sit downs with really some of, exactly, the great and the good, and sometimes the bad, presumably to enormous audiences on Netflix. It's hard to say because they don't really release much data about it. Conan's podcast appears to be enormously successful. I watch a fair bit of it. Trevor Noah has a podcast and still does TV, right? Or has he lost his as well now?
Daily Show is hosted again by Jon Stewart.
Ah, right. Yeah, there you go. And so we will never know this, but my analysis was, okay, we've sort of got one of the last hangers on here. We could use this moment to curry favour with an administration, a business decision that we were probably going to have to make at some point in the next couple of years anyway. Let's use it to pick up some brownie points, strike while the iron's hot, 2 birds, 1 stone. Can I get another cliche in there? Not sure I can. Take him off air and also basically be like, we respect the memory of Charlie Kirk and this administration's love of free speech when it's speech that they agree with.
Mm-hmm.
That was my hypothesis. We won't know, right? But that was kind of my angle on it.
I think the suppression of free speech television is one of the few remaining methods of communication that the federal government could have an impact on. If Jimmy Kimmel had said this on a YouTube video, in Twitter, there'd be less there's not really anything they can do about it, really. But you can, because of like the way like the television industry works, you can lean on corporate executives to do what you want. And that is what's happened.
That's certainly true. I would counter with the Twitter files and the way that the Biden administration was leaning on social media companies during COVID. And then it's not as direct. It's not like lobbying. It's not come into the office and what the fuck are you going to do about this? But certainly you could not, you couldn't disagree with the fact that certainly the Meta platforms, absolutely X, for slightly different reasons. But when Trump won a second term, content moderation, fact checking, these things were thrown to the wayside, partly because of Elon basically throwing the sink out at Twitter and everyone going, oh, wait, we can do that. And there appears to be very little blowback. Partly because Trump won office and they wanted to curry favor with him. So I think it's more indirect, but I would say that was still the federal government influencing like a pretty significant portion of...
But I think those companies are insulated more from it as a result of basically they still have people consuming their content. Yeah. Like you think about like if the federal government put pressure on Twitch to like stop Hassan Piker from streaming, I think Twitch would be like, get fucked. Like he makes us so much money.
They've pulled his streams a couple of times, haven't they? They've temporarily banned him.
I think that's for
content violations,
policy,
terms of service or whatever.
But I think like a weak, dying television industry, you can lean on, and they did and got the result that they wanted.
Calling freelancers, small and mid-sized business owners. Tide's Instant Saver account offers up to 4% AER variable, flexible access, and competitive returns.
Unlike other options on the market, you won't need to hold your money with Tide for a fixed period. That means you'll have instant access and free withdrawals whenever you need it.
You can get started today with just £1, making it easy to start growing your business savings.
Want to know what you'll earn? Tide's Clever Calculator gives you a clear picture up front.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE, that's J-O-E, JOE. New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable, free for 6 months. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.
I assume the Free Speech Union will be up in arms.
No, they're trying to ruin this 20-year-old boy's life. They're picketing the Oxbridge Union.
He's in the House of Lords now.
Toby Young.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Badenoch put him in there.
She's got a finger on the pulse, that woman, doesn't she? About that boy.
The incoming president.
The incoming president of the Oxford Union made a callous remark about Charlie Kirk's death. And then it prompted members of Parliament, members of the House of Lords, adults, grown adults, to be like, I care about this university debating club.
Yeah.
And it's like I find it's so interesting and it's really revealing about the elite in this country. Like Oxbridge is still such a pipeline to the elite.
Oh, massively.
And has always been.
Yeah.
And they're so disproportionately at the top that they think that their uni club is a matter of life and death. Like imagine me publicly now with my platform objecting to the actions of the incoming president of the Edinburgh University Drama Club.
I can't believe they're not doing Midsummer Night's Dream.
Everyone knows that Pippin should be performed in the round.
Macbeth again.
Come on.
God's sake.
Something from the 20th century, please. That is the worst production of Waiting for Godot.
I take your point. It does have relevance to our politics, unfortunately, because it is essentially the breeding ground where The movers and shakers of the Tory party cut their teeth. Like Boris Johnson.
And they're upset that this black guy in trackies is there. Like, is that it?
No, they're upset about what he said, right?
That was a free speech club.
Thought so. Yeah.
Shut up, it's embarrassing. Come on. A member of parliament wrote to the Oxford Union and said,
look, no, that's...
I was the treasurer in 1995.
And now I'm a puppet.
It's...
Yeah.
I cared about this when I was 20, and I'm now 57.
They, like, heads of state have gone and done stuff there, you know? Like,
So,
right.
no,
It is like an important theatre of ideas and discussion in the country. Like, if you were to say, where does meaningful, substantive debate take place in Britain?
Yeah. I would say Newcastle University Debating Club, Bristol University Debating Club, Durham. There's other debating societies.
Interesting. Durham get thrown.
It's a club. It's a club.
Because is it not a case of, your man at the Oxford Union should be able to say that? He just has to deal with the consequences of saying it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, but I think it's disproportionate because it's the Oxford Union and people.
No, it
so emotive.
No,
to such an insane.
It has an
level.
outsized grip on the kind of British media political class because half of them went there.
Yeah.
Thanks to Tide and their instant savings account for sponsoring this week's podcast.
New members receive an annual equivalent rate of up to 4% AER variable.
Our audience will receive £100 cash back when you deposit £5,000 within the first 30 days of opening your Tide Instant Saver account.
Use code JOE. For the full offer, visit tide.co/Joe. T's and C's apply.